So it's on your YouTube channel?
Yes, and it's now on my Facebook.
Okay, let's all go to Nicole Sackage's YouTube. Oh, I can go to your Facebook, I guess. Facebook. Tell a joke while I'm very slow at this kind of stuff. So. Holy cow! I can't even find. Well, here's your profile. Let's start maybe a little bit before we do the orb thing. Let's talk about triangles.
Oh, you want to do a sneak peek on my high strangeness?
Yeah, we need to. This is. I don't see it on your Facebook page. Oh, live panel. There it is. Okay, hang on. Yeah. So tell everybody what happened. To tell about your son's message first. Oh, we got people in the waiting room. Let them in. Can I let them in? Can you let them in?
I think we both can, but here's
Okay.
Jeff and Alan.
Yeah, you're more savvy than me. I'm still trying to get this off your Facebook here.
I think you can just hit share.
Huh.
Or I don't know, do you have the 3 buttons? You might even be able to go straight to your YouTube and share it.
Okay. Okay, hang on.
Hey, hi, Nicole.
Hi, Alan.
Thanks for inviting me. Hey
guys.
And I'm not sure. Was looking for my orb pictures, but
I have a few. I stole the Orb Project book pictures, so I was going to throw that up.
Yeah, that is great. I got that book out too, the Orb Project book. Yeah,
I know you have the actual copy. I was just going to screen share.
I do. I'll show you the copy. Let me find that. Where is that?
Okay, Diane is in the waiting room. I'll let her in. Diane O'Connor. I actually forgot about her, but I remembered today. She's got some good orbs for it. She's from Illinois, correct, Diane? Are you here, Diana? Hello.
Her audio might be connecting.
Okay. Oh, and Jeff's here. You get the Illinois. They've taken over here.
Howdy.
Yeah, how you doing?
Thanks for having me.
Oh, the Illini.
We've been inundated by Illinois people here.
Hey, Illinois is a really large state. So maybe if 3 more of us join, we'll have it covered.
Yeah, spread across the state there. Chicago, you're in the southern, and where's Dan? Is she here? Where's she?
No, I'm right in the middle. Right in the middle of Illinois. They're still like 4 or 5 hours south of me. So that's southern Illinois.
There you go.
Hi, sorry I'm late.
Hi, Diane. You're right on time.
And whereabouts are you from, Diane?
I'm by Gurnee, Illinois, so it's up by the Wisconsin border.
Oh, okay. That's a nice area. I like that.
Yeah.
Wisconsin is a very nice place.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get back to the triangle here now. Can you share the photo of the triangle? And let's talk about your son Will and the message he got a couple days before. And just to let people know, we wrote a book on triangles, you and I. And now,
right, I guess I could get that, but just the quick version. And we made a few posts, but my son always talks like kind of in a daze before he goes to sleep. And I was tucking him in, and he was telling me about a game that him and his cousin play where there's the universe, and then there's the multiverse, and then there's the ultraverse.
Wow.
And his cousin is the creator being. And so this like made my eyebrow raise, and I was like, oh, is this a game you guys made up and you play? And he goes, no, we play it when I go to sleep. So I was like, ding, ding, ding. And then he went to sleep. So the next morning, I'm waking him up for school. And the very first thing out of his mouth, he goes, Mom, I know what's bigger than the ultraverse. And I went, what? And he goes, love. And then he just like got up and, started getting ready for school with me. And I'm going, and smiling and stuff. So the entire day goes past, and I get him to make a little video of it. And I sent that to Grant, and we had our little moment about it. And the next evening, I was sitting on my back porch, and we talk about these moments where we zone out. Well, I was looking at the trees and the blue sky, and I was thinking about that moment with Will, and I zoned out. And then I kind of came back, And I don't have to show the picture, Grant, because it's still on my wrist.
Wow.
But I have a little tiny triangle
Oh.
on my wrist now. And it's flat like a freckle. Like,
Yeah.
I immediately like licked it, thought it was like leftover food from the restaurant or something, but it didn't come off. Like,
Did you have missing time? Was there missing time?
I don't know, Alan. It felt like a moment. You know what I mean? Like I heard this tone, like this vanishing tone, which I had heard several times throughout the day. And yeah, so.
And the funny thing was that we had discussed this in the book. We actually have a bunch of photographs of people with triangles on their wrists. And my big joke was, well, why would they put a triangle on your wrist? Is that like a pre-abduction? Is that a propulsion symbol or whatever? And then you know what happened, and Chris is not here, but Chris Bledsoe posts on your post, when I put your photograph up, he posts, well, yours is, how do you put it? Yours is unofficial. It's only official when you get one of these.
Yeah.
And it has this rocket ship going up, and it's got a triangle around it, and it's metallic, as if he was given this by whoever from NASA or wherever this came from. And he's sort of like hinting, it's like, it's official. When they know, what do you say? When they know that you know it for real or something. But it has this triangle around this that he was given by somebody. And there was one medal he had been given before when this Tyler D did the briefing of President Obama.
It looked like it was sitting on a patch, like some sort of official NASA-ish patch.
Because he showed me that, I don't know if it's the same medal, but he showed me a medal early on, back many years ago, where you know the story where Tyler D goes, he asks a bunch of questions of Chris, of the lady, and he takes those to the president, and he does this briefing on this. They have this napkin from Camp David. So he showed me on his cell phone. I think we were in Maine at the time, and he shows me on his cell phone this medal. Now I'm not sure it's the same medal that he put on your posting, but I said, "Really? What's that? Where'd you get that for?" And he said, "I can't tell you. I can just tell you where it came from." And he goes to the next photograph, and it's a mailing envelope from Camp David.
Yeah,
I don't know if this is the same one, but he's implying that when it's a real deal, they give you this medal. It's a bizarre story.
I was hoping he and Bob McGuire would join and talk some orbs with us. Bob has that awesome capture from his front porch camera of the 3 orbs forming the triangle. And so let's get it kicked off. I mean, we're already live, we're streaming. I check the feeds. Hello, everybody on YouTube and Facebook. Welcome to our orb panel. Welcome, Alan from New Realities. We have Jeff here from Chicago. Janet, are you from Illinois as well? Were you our third Illini?
He's from Manitoba. She's in the Manitoba team.
Oh, Manitoba.
No.
Just north of me.
Diane.
St. Clements,
we have,
Manitoba.
Yeah.
We have Daryl, the longest running waiting room contestant.
Daryl Stokes.
And we have Tress. Tress joined. And Aneta.
Yeah.
Welcome, everybody.
So just to clarify, Daryl's from Sedona still?
Yeah.
Okay. Aneta is from Macedonia, and Tress is from Scotland. So I wanted to bring in people from around the world to show them that this orb phenomena is not something the U.S. military discovered or has a hold on. There's people around the world, and most of the people here have thousands of photographs that they've taken of orbs. So that's what we wanted to sort of bring these people on. That was the idea behind. We did one orb panel a little bit earlier. We were looking at this good, bad, or indifferent. What are orbs? Why, you know, all this kind of stuff. But today I thought we'd bring in some of the people who actually take the photographs. So maybe we can go around the loop here and get people to describe their experience with orbs, how many photographs they've taken, and then what do you think is really going on? What do you think the orbs are in terms of your understanding? I see Tress is on the screen. Do you want to start, Tress?
Hi everyone. Nice to be here and join you all. Right, I can't actually see myself. I just see a blank screen.
Down at the bottom left-hand side, there's a mute button and a stop video, there should be an X through there, a red line. Click on the red line and your video will come on. There you go. Yeah, we
Here we
need you
are.
because you've got some of the most spectacular photographs I've ever seen. And you're a lifelong experiencer, correct?
Yes, I am, since I was born, actually. I've got so much stories that I could tell about my life that'll be in my book, hopefully for next year. But yeah, I mean, if I can just say that I'm actually not a human being. I actually came into a human body when I was just under about a year old, and my planet is Sakruma. And I go back and forward. I have been going back and forward since I was a child, going back and forward to the planet Sakruma and meeting all my family and my people there. And I travel back and forward into Earth to awaken the people's minds about how things are going on around them and how desperate times it is now. And we need to now open our minds and come out of bubbles and realize just exactly what's going on around us. And we're sending so many beings down in different forums to link in with the people's minds, and so that they'll be awakened and then they'll awaken other people. So it's been a long time that I've been actually doing this.
And what about the orbs? How long you've been photographing orbs, and do they allow you to photograph? Do they want you to, because you've got some pretty spectacular orb photographs, and you've got a lot of the beam photographs as well. Do they let you do this?
Yes, I had we call them, everyone calls them orbs, but we call them the energy beings, because they are a form of another being. And what they're doing is, the actual people of the planets don't want to come down at the moment to face people, except the ones that are actually open to what they are and how they are. So what they want to do is send other identities down around people so that they get to play with them, get used to them, get to know them. And the orb form is a being, and excuse me, also they carry other beings inside them from the planet down to mix with the humans down here. So it's actually, they're opening up the whole circle of the thought in people's heads to connect with these orbs. And they're very, very real, these orbs. And they're not demonic. They're not here to hurt anyone. They're not here to do anything bad, but link in with the human beings' minds so that it opens up to prepare for the people coming in the next wee while. And we're all sort of talking about that at the moment. It's getting more and more within the planets that we're all now gathering and talking about when this is going to happen, that we are actually going to bring down the people. We've got 7,500 hybrid children down here at the moment that are actually walking on the planet, and they just touch the shoulders of the humans, and it changes their whole set of mindset of the way they're thinking. But the orbs are very important just now, because they're actually using the orbs to come around people and to settle with them, to talk with them. My orbs, my energy beings, I have thousands of them that come around me, all different shapes, different sizes. I go out and I sing my own planet songs and talk my own language, and they will come in. If I go through a bad time where I really want to go home and I don't want to be here anymore, they will send the red ones down. I've never shown you them, but there's big red orbs, and they have someone in them, and they sit with me and they calm me down and they speak to me, and they're just all around me, these beautiful, massive big red orbs, and they'll just be with me. And I know that they're there just to say, well, you know, you have to carry on this work. That's what you're here for. You've got so much to do. I was doing a documentary. I wasn't doing a documentary. I was getting filmed in a TV documentary just a few weeks ago. And when we were filming, the orbs were just around all the directors and the producers when I was taking the films. So they've all gone off to be used somewhere in the documentary. But I'm actually now finding that I'm having more and more people coming to me wanting to know and ask more questions, wanting answers. And I'm now quite happy, as you know me, Grant. Before I was like, oh, I can't do this. now I'm actually in a place where I'm open and I can tell you so much that's
Beautiful.
going on. But the orbs are here in love, in peace, and to connect with people, and just to open the doors for the rest of them to come down at some point in the future.
Okay, so you got your stuff on Facebook. We may get you to share the screen and show some of your stuff. But what name would they find you under if they're going to look on Facebook for your material? And then I'll turn it to.
If they go on to Echo Whispers Facebook group, it's a private group. I do have some stuff up there, but other people put their stuff up as well. I do have stuff up there. That's the only place I'm actually putting it at the moment.
Okay.
Once the documentary is out, I will be sharing that as well, so that people can get a more of a interaction with me to know what it's all about. But I must say that this is very important. This time from now, from when the virus came to 2021 to 2026 is going to be the years that are going to be very important on this earth, of the changes that are happening in nature, in the humans' minds, coming out of their bubbles and seeing more crafts. I have a craft that's above my house all the time that guards over me, which I have lots of pictures of as well. Yes. So,
okay, thanks.
yeah.
Okay, let's go to Nicole, and you can introduce the next person. And
yeah, well, we've had two late guests kind of join us in the first few minutes. I'd like to say hi to my friend John McCarty, and also Grant. Our friend Janet has also joined us as well. And actually, I think Tress gave me a really good segue here, because she has been so helpful to so many people since she has kind of come forward and started sharing her story. And that, John, kind of reminded me of how you and I first met, which was you online or in social media trying to seek some sort of help for what you were experiencing in your apartment. And so if you'd like to go ahead and jump in here, I'd like to turn the floor over to you.
Sure, thanks. Well, first of all, thanks for inviting me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. I said I'd have you join all these orb people, so here we are.
That's great. So as far as the orbs, this started about a year ago from me just recording one regular orb just on my camera. I originally purchased my cameras to try to capture an abduction taking place, but instead I started getting orbs. So a couple months in, I started getting aliens in the orbs. Like it will be an orb going across, and then for a split second, it will show itself and then continue on as an orb. This happened kind of often last year, as well as maybe some human looking figures. But the past 3 weeks, I'm capturing maybe 10 aliens per video. I'm seeing the same ones every day and at different points in one video. Like one might be on this side, left side, then will appear on the right side, maybe 30 seconds later. And I'm also capturing human heads. Like the heads aren't in the orbs. I think that the heads are weird because they travel in the video as a head, but the aliens, the orb will be a regular orb, and then it'll kind of bubble a little bit, and it'll bubble and form the head perfectly, and then kind of explode into different orbs and go in different directions.
That's amazing. I've seen a lot of your footage, and you've sent me a few videos as well. Do you want to go ahead and take over the screen and share any of us with?
I want to see some floating heads. Yes.
Yeah, and I mean, this is a panel discussion. So if anybody wants to jump in and ask questions to everybody, I mean, that's what this discussion is all about. So
maybe we should go around and then we'll go. Let's go around to everybody to introduce first, and then we'll get everybody to share screen. Whoever wants to share screen.
Oh, okay. So that was John's introduction.
Maybe we can go back to
Grant, you take over. Introduce the next person then.
Okay, I'm so happy to have Daryl Stokes on here. So let's bring on Daryl. I did an interview with him a couple of years ago. I haven't heard from him since, but he's famous for he can take anybody's camera, and he can take the photographs. And it was Kevin from Canada introduced me and said you should talk to this guy. And I saw some of these photos where people are actually posing at this conference, and Daryl's taking the photographs, and people are all trying to get their photograph with these orbs. It was the most amazing thing, and he's got some incredible stuff. So Daryl, talk to us a little bit about how you got involved in this. Are you still doing these orb photographs, and what do you think about orbs? What do you think they are?
I am still taking photos. It's been about 10 years now, literally since coming to Sedona, where it really spiritual awakening, if you will, and being able to reflect back, on the photos from the past 10 years of starting out to now, and just seeing what has come about. The orbs are everywhere, beings of conscious energy. And what I've noticed is many different other beings are able to use the orbs as modes of communication, if you will, whether they be elementals or angels or star beings, but they all seem to be able to use the orbs as a conduit to communicate with us. Whether it's small ones, big ones, multicolored ones, ones where they're by themselves, ones where there are multiple groups of them, daytime, nighttime, inside, outside, and they seem to be everywhere. The Mount Shasta, Chewelah, Washington, where the Sasquatch conference was, the Buddhist monastery in China, friend's backyard, she said she had a portal back there in Florida, and they're there. So over the past 10 years, just being comfortable asking, what am I supposed to do? Which is I guess we're envoys, ambassadors, if you will, to share this information or messages with others. We're not alone. Clearly, as we're all together, we can see that we all have something quite unique that we're able to share with others, because if you're on that frequency and others are able to resonate and you're open to receive it, then you can share it with others. And of course, you're called crazy, or others don't understand it, or there's everything in the world to debunk it, whether it's lens flare or dust or whatnot. But you have so many different people getting the same thing showing up, and all these unique situations. And every single one of us is like, hey, we have a positive experience with them. And clearly, if they're wanting to communicate with us, how open are we to receiving and sharing that message? And it looks like we've noticed over the past several years that this is really amped up, for many of us. And now it seems like it looks like we're about to enter in a whole new stage, because just a year or so ago, they were saying that none of this is real. And now they're actually acknowledging that a lot of things that we've been saying for many, many years, they're now saying that is confirmed to be, which, boy, isn't that confirmation and validation for many of us, that we have been seeing this for a long time, and we've been labeled crazy, or bipolar or whatnot. And yet these beings seem to have a consciousness to be able to reach out and communicate with us. Our animals are highly sensitive to them. Our family members or whatnot, but you get around people and you start to get the goosebumps. You feel the shift in the temperature. You take a picture, and there it is. So it's for those who are open to it. And this was just something that called out to Sedona 10 years ago. We came out here, figured why not, and boy, it has been quite an amazing journey, with this. And they definitely have a message to share. Because they've been doing it for quite some time. And it feels like a lot of us have done this before, whether past life, reincarnation, or whatnot. But clearly, we all seem to have this ability to, communicate with them and them to communicate with us. And multiple beings, some people are very strong with star beings, others very strong with Sasquatch, others very strong with elemental. But we all seem to be able to come around like this, the round table, if you will. The council, so everyone, shows up at these particular time frames to, hey, how's it going? And it's like, you have all this information and knowledge, and then we start to put it together, and a lot of keys, a lot of codes, a lot of activations taking place. And people that were not open to it just 5 years ago have had these profound experiences now, and all it takes is for you to have that particular experience, and for someone else, to be with you and to be able to share that. So I feel that a lot more profound stuff opening up.
Beautiful. We're looking forward to seeing your stuff later on in the broadcast. But one question, and I'll turn it back to Nicole, and she can introduce somebody else. You hinted at something which I know Tress has brought up, and that is, how do you prepare yourself? You hear people talking about you need to be in a state of love. You need to open yourself up in order to film this stuff. Is that true?
Yeah, well, think about it. If someone who's open, if you're open to experiencing the unknown,
Yeah.
And with a curiosity, like, you don't want to be terrified, but you want to know that there's something else out there, and you allow yourself to be in that space of openness, of love, of joy. That frequency, they tend to communicate with that a lot more. I haven't really known of too many people that have a lot of fear that are able to have them show up, when they ask them to show up. But for those that, heck, even the elementals, love, laughter, joy, happiness, same frequency, the tribe, soul tribe, if you will. But if you're open to it, and you're around others that are open to it, I would imagine that you're more than likely going to have quite a remarkable experience. And that's just what I've experienced from whether, being in groups at Shasta, or at the Sasquatch conference or whatnot. But if you're around those of a like mind and that are open to see it, more than likely they're just waiting for the opportunity.
Yeah, excellent. I'll turn it back to Nicole. I just want to make one comment, and that was that the way I saw it, because you have this latest book that's come out that talks about these very negative sort of orbs, but what you have is military people, armed military people walking around. They're going to catch this thing. They're going to engage it. And it's almost like John Wheeler said, the quantum physicist, it's a participatory universe. You get what goes around comes around, what you sow, you reap. And this kind of idea, or as Bashar says, what you put out comes back to you. And it's sort of like you sort of help manifest whether you're going to get a good experience or bad experience based upon your attitude when you're engaging whatever it is we're engaging. So I'm glad to see that you sort of agree with, I think, most of the people who have very positive experiences, that if you have a positive attitude going in and you open yourself up, you don't get these negative encounters that these people are reporting.
Grant, can I just ask Daryl one question?
Yeah.
How do you feel after you have been around these orbs, after you've gone out and you've been with them, come in, how do you feel after being with them?
Nonstop happiness, like you're being tickled from the inside. And it, because that frequency, that joy, and it just envelops you, so it's like, wow. And that you're able to share that with others, so it seems that for once it's like a recharging, if you will. It's like the heart is your power source, and a lot of people have broken hearts, and these individuals assist us in mending our broken hearts. And when the heart is fully mended, or the heart is very capable of amazing things, because love is it, love and joy. So if you're able to have those frequencies or those activations, that seems to allow you to be able to do quite a bit. But I've never felt drained or exhausted from being around them. I can share that with you. And vivid dreams, clear communication, and super strong intuition from them, because they'll ask you to come outside, or you'll get the goosebumps or the gut feeling, the tingling sensation. So they communicate in multiple ways. So I just that's what I've experienced from it.
Yeah.
You both have brought up interesting points about communication and mainstream, and you brought up feelings. And I can say from my first sighting experience which was a green fiery orb fireball, I called it for years. It truly did inspire me to be a part of this and to continuously search in this community and try to find whatever I was searching for. So I will say it has that inspiring moment. And then my sighting that I had last July or 2 Julys ago, as soon as I saw it, and I mean, I was searching the sky for it, others had eyes on it. As soon as I saw it, I dropped to my knees. It was like this, oh my God, joyous, I started laughing. And then I was like, damn it, you're here to get it on film. It was like I had to pull myself out of that like moment. And I did. Then I got it on film for almost 5 minutes. And it was just amazing. I'll share that later as well. So, but our next panelist here with us is, I always want to call you Aneta or Aneta, but it is Aneta. And she's joining us all the way from Macedonia. And so if she'd like to join in, please do.
Yes. Hello, everybody. Hello, Nicole.
Hello.
I'm Aneta, actually.
Oh, I had it
Yes.
right then. Perfect.
Perfect. I would say the same what Daryl said and John before. Exactly the same. You know, you feel happiness, you feel joy, you feel your heart is going to go outside of happiness when you meet the orbs, you know. So I'm filming the orbs almost maybe at 2011, 10, 12, I don't know, but I'm having a lot of pictures and videos from orbs. And they're different, you know, different kinds. Some orbs, after all these years, I found it out that some orbs are the spirits from people. Some orbs are vehicles from the extraterrestrials, friends. Some orbs are light beings, you know, and they're amazing. They're amazing. And they make you feel reborn, make you feel happy. After my meetings with them, with my friends, I even don't need to sleep anymore. You know, I feel full of energy. I don't need to eat. I just feel happy, you know, and there is no words for happiness, you know, to express. And so I don't understand how some people will say bad orbs. Well, I was watching the last video panel that you, Grant, had, and you know the comments about this new book from this I forgot the name, unfortunately. This writer, this journalist, whatever.
George Knapp. Yeah.
Yeah, George Knapp. Well, you know, for example, you go to meet a new person, a group of new people, so you go with the weapons to meet them, you know, of course, you know, it's absurd, it's not normal. I mean, you cannot have a different experience if you go aggressively to meet somebody which you don't know actually what you are meeting. Who are they? What is it? You know, it's absurd. Well,
Aneta, you actually bring up an interesting point, because the orb didn't actually appear to him while he was at Skinwalker Ranch. This was that hitchhiker effect. The orb came to him once he was already home. So it makes me wonder if it appeared when there wasn't the weapons around to greet him.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I think the best will be that the ordinary people, the people like we or somebody else who is pure in the heart, who is not aggressive, without of weapon and knives and so on, we go there and let's see what will happen. If you send military, if you send somebody who is saying they know everything. I mean, I don't think it's going to be, we're going to have a positive results. I mean, on this very famous ranch should go ordinary people, no military and no other. I mean, yeah. Sorry for my English. I haven't spoken for a long time.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to have someone like from this panel to go on and photograph orbs there, because most of the people here would be able to produce, you know, hundreds of photographs of these orbs, and then you would see a different side of the story.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think it will be a completely different side of the story, completely different, because it depends of your approach to the thing, to the phenomena. You know, you go with a pure heart, without of any, I don't know, without expectation, but pure heart and love, as we all do, filming orbs and photographing orbs. And we will have, I'm quite sure, 100% sure that we're going to have positive experiences, all of us.
Beautiful. We'll come back to you for your photographs. when we go for the second round. I want to introduce, we're going to come to Canada now, to just out north of Winnipeg where I live. And Janet, who has orb parties, she actually hosts orb parties. I've been to one. Everybody brings their camera, and we have an orb festival, and then we go and put them on the big screen, and everybody sees who gets the best orb photograph. So welcome,
Wow.
Janet, and tell us how you got involved in this whole thing and what's going on. I missed the last orb party you had, but tell us your story. Janet, can you hear me? Hang on.
Well, I've always been interested in paranormal stuff. So, can you hear me? I'm unmuted here. Just to let you know, my internet's a little. Am I still there?
I can hear you, but I can't see
I
you.
can see you guys.
And we have a slight lag.
Okay.
Maybe log out and then come back in.
Yeah,
again.
my internet.
That might fix it. We can
Log
go
out and come back
ahead.
in.
Is Alan?
Okay, I'll try that.
Okay.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay,
Um,
hold on.
Hi,
Where did
Alan.
Jeff go? Is Jeff still here? Jeff Lurkey?
He
Well-
is not.
Maybe we can, I've been studying orbs since like 2005. I put on an orb conference in New York, and can we start to share our screen? Because I have to leave soon. I just want to show a little history, Grant, of some early
Right.
orbs.
Okay.
Well,
go
Alan,
ahead.
you were a part of our first orb
Right.
Okay.
discussion that we
I
had.
just want to
so-
do a quick share. How do I
Okay.
get to be a co-host? And then I have to leave.
You should be able to. You should be able to. Can't you
It
share?
says host disable participant screen sharing.
Oh,
So you
okay.
have to enable, I think you have to make us co-hosts or something. Or
I'm looking too.
I think I know I mean I'm fascinated with orbs because they are the best example that things exist beyond the material world, that we are energy ourselves. I think the universe is made of orb
Okay, try now.
intelligences.
Try now.
And okay, yes. Okay, I just want to share something that's often cited as UFOs, but this picture from Nuremberg in
Oh, yeah.
1500s, it's a woodcut of this orbs. I mean, you can't say it's anything else but orbs in the sky over Nuremberg, Germany in the 1500s. And people say, oh, Jung even pointed to this as an early depiction of UFOs, but they are really not UFOs. There's something else. And there's one other picture. Do you see that? Did your screen change?
Yeah. It's coming through.
These are black orbs around the same time in Nuremberg. So there seems to, some people claim like a battle between these white and black orbs. But so orbs have been with us, and visionaries, mystics have always seen these balls of light. Actually, I just saw one right now. I was talking a little. I've been seeing little purple dots appearing, especially around high energy people. So I think some doorway has been open for us, like in Ghostbusters, where or at the end of that movie where the Ark lets out all those beings, the Raiders of the Lost Ark. I think the world has gone into a paranormal, which is really normal, alternate reality, and these things are just coming in and out of our dimension more than ever. So we have to somehow learn to live with them and make friends, like you're saying, and stop fearing everything and putting out negative energies, like that woman from Scotland was saying. We have to love these things because they are essentially other beings. And I think, the universe is made of love. So we need to put out the highest vibration possible in order to make peace with these other levels of reality. So this is about really moving into new realities, Grant, and adjusting our mind that not everything is physical, but we are really energy. And that's essentially what we look like, those orbs, when we're out. So everyone's so concerned with the physical, but we are essentially orbs of light. I mean, that's why Daryl's an orb of light right there. And that's why he's able to make friends, and all of the people here. So I think when you attune your frequency to that, they want to make themselves known. I just want to show you one more thing in this book, Beyond Photography, that came out. It came out before the Orb Project, which was the Orb Project came out in 2006.
Perfect.
That's not an orb I took a picture of, but that's an orb like, and there's all these patterns inside these orbs.
Yeah,
And
I'll show a video that looks like that guy.
The extension of the orbs become these like mist type forms,
Mhm.
you know. So like people who photograph orbs a lot, they do become. Have you had that happen to you, Daryl? The mists?
Yep.
Have
They all
think
have it. That's what I asked
everybody
them when they show the orbs. I say, "Have you got those smoke mist things?"
Oh.
All the people on this panel have gotten the
John
mist.
is our newest, probably on the orb channel.
I just want to show you. It seems like this cat is reaching for the orb there. It's like animals, horses, and cats, more than dogs, are much more psychic and mystical. So these things are all around us. And you could show that thing we showed early on that first one with the morgue, if you want, Grant. You have.
Oh, have I got that?
I sent it to you. Well, I could show that again if you want.
Yeah, show that. Yeah, because I've got Janet's PowerPoint here.
Yeah, my friend watches she works at this place. I guess it's a crematorium, but they brought in a body. And let me see if I can find it. Sorry, I wasn't ready for this. Anyway, when they brought in this new body, all these orbs kind of fluttered around. And let me just see, where is it?
Either that or I can link it to
Oh yeah, come back to me in a second, and I'll find it. Yeah.
I think we have
Okay.
Janet back in now, if she wants to jump in.
Okay, Janet, go ahead.
I can't find her yet.
All right, here. Let me see.
Have you got it now?
If she unmutes, we might be able to hear her.
I have the video of the.
Oh, you do? Yeah. Show that.
Okay,
Of
let me show the video. Share screen. Share.
Now, this is a friend of mine who works at this morgue. Well, she's not really a friend, but she watches the security camera, and there. That's a different one.
Hang on.
I think I found it too. If
You got it? Okay.
Yeah, I think
I had it and then I lost it because I'm not.
No, here I have it. I'll just.
Okay, you got to share screen now.
Yeah. Okay. Let me share screen. Let me go to share screen. Share screen.
Can you imagine if we were mailing each other all this stuff, like in the snail mail style?
Okay,
Like
optimize. Okay.
I was
Now
in that.
this is it. You see that on your screen. So she just happened to notice on the security camera that there was this flurry when this new body was brought in. So here it is. This is right after this body was dropped off. It wasn't like this a second ago. These are not dust particles. These are, I don't know. They seem to have purpose with their direction.
It's like a welcoming ceremony.
Yeah, exactly. So she just happened to take a look at this and say, that's strange. And she was able to download a copy. It's like most orbs. They seem to come and go out of space, out of hyperdimensional space. So
sounds like you have homework, Alan. You could maybe seek out footage from crematorium.
Well, that's not my favorite thing to do, Nicole.
I know, but you have so
I
many.
think there's other places like James Gilliland. If you go up to his place, have you been up there? He has a camera that captures these orbs right out in the field in front of the Mount Adams there. Have you guys been there to East City Ranch?
We showed some photographs. One of the orb people had photographs from there.
He has
not
some
on this broadcast, but yeah, I've seen the photo. I've been there.
He has some great videos there, James Gilliland. I recommend getting him on the show.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think this is our doorway to other dimensions and to a higher spirituality. So, I think,
We haven't thrown that out there.
put your digital camera on your altar as the
A lot of
Doorway.
people refer to orbs as portals, and
Yes.
that's what we've been saying, you can travel through them and all this, but let's cut to the chase.
Yeah.
They're
Okay,
portals. I don't know,
Yeah.
or they're associated with it somehow.
But
They're thin,
But those Nuremberg pictures show this is there's a history, and
Right.
Yeah.
we just
I
gotta-
also think back to like Renaissance artwork where
Yeah.
like there's that classic depiction of the Christ who looks very feminine and he's holding the orb, and there's the 3 dotted triangle in the orb, and there's the symbolism of right hands and left hands, and whether you see faces in it or beings coming out, like there's this whole gamut, which is so beautiful.
That's what I'll just step in. That's what the beings from London told me. We can, if you want us to be ETs, we can be ETs. We can take you to our planet. But no, we've always been here. You're the visitor. And it's this idea. And Nancy Tremaine's being said the same thing. We are not alien to here or anywhere else. We've always been here. It's this idea that it's all one thing, and you're tapping into it.
Right. Nicole, I just want to show you one more thing that this woman from Iran showed me after she had this abduction dream. You see the 3 triangles there?
There you
in her
go.
head?
That's so familiar now at this point, like that 3 dot mark.
Okay, so Alan, what do you think? What do you think's going on? Like, why are you putting triangles on people's wrists?
Well, I think it's a way. Well, I don't totally agree with just saying, "Hey, I'm there." I think it's some kind of etheric implant, but not a negative thing. I think we're kind of not being tracked, but we're kind of being awakened. It's like a symbol, so we know we're connected. It's like an insignia.
It's so now we know that it's like that reminder type of thing, like, so you can't deny it anymore.
I mean, I know what you're saying. Yeah, it's true. But Grant says it's like if you just had a dream and you didn't have a mark, you wouldn't know anything happened. But I think it's also the fact that we can count on that somehow we know we're connected now to something greater.
Right.
So, I mean,
That's what I said to
Right.
Nicole. We did the book on triangles. Then she got the triangle. So now I said she's a Sky Pilot Triangle Club. She's in the Sky Pilot Triangle Club.
And you say that, and I think of it as an affirmation, as they're like happy with my part that I played. Like that's like,
Yeah.
you did good, kid. Like,
There you go. Let's go to Janet. She's back here. Let's talk to her, see if her camera's working.
Janet, she was there.
Okay, there we go. Sorry, my rural internet.
Wait,
I'm here.
yeah.
Can you hear me?
You're sort of here.
Okay.
Maybe she can
Yeah,
share the
that's
screen
my
without the camera.
Electronics. Sorry.
Try without the camera, or she's left again. I've got her PowerPoint, so I can show her.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, so keep the camera off.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Better?
Yep.
Yeah. So I've had some paranormal stuff quite a lot of my life, just enough to keep you interested in looking about what's the next thing, for past life stuff, but always interesting stuff. So it was interesting that I first saw the orbs when we went to Sedona. So Sedona figures into this, and in 2016 we did a night watch with Tom Dongo, and that's the other ranch, and he's wrote a book about it, Bradshaw Ranch. And so the place we went to look for orbs was sort of just over the hill from Bradshaw Ranch, so there's a lot of paranormal in that area. And so Tom Dongo took these pictures, and I was just amazed, and he said even for us that there was quite a lot of orbs in our pictures. So went home, and it took me almost a year later to figure out, whose orbs were those? Were those his orbs and his spot, or did we have some in our land too? And so I went out and started taking pictures, and there was a few there, and the orbs developed. And then finally, so then one night I watched a lot of Grant's stuff, and then Grant, you were speaking at the Experiencer group in Winnipeg, and we came in to do that so I could talk to you about the orbs. So they've really developed. It's wonderful, and I agree that it makes you feel loving and warm. And when you go out with to shoot orbs, you just have that kind and loving heart, and they're always there. So, Grant, you're mentioning about the orb parties. I've had you and Dest out a couple of times and a few people out, but they're always here to take pictures. The orbs always show up. So, you know what? It's great fun. And when I come back in from shooting orbs, I'm always got a lot of energy, and you can't go to sleep for an hour. It's just takes you a while to unwind. It feels like you've been recharged, and it's really great. So I can't even understand why they think they're negative, but of course, if you show up with guns, who's going to get a good reception, right? It's not the Department of Love and Light. They show up for, So that's kind of my experience. And even when you came out, Grant, and we took pictures, we had a lot of orbs in those pictures.
Yeah, and we did get Tress mentions your authority. You read all the books. When Tress, you recognize when Tress talked about the giant reds, or what are they called? What are they called?
Yeah, they're the giant reds.
Giant reds,
yeah. Klaus Heinemann's book is like it's excellent, and I think you showed that there, Alan. It categorizes stuff so well. It explains stuff so well, like a physicist would, right? About the filters on cameras and that, and it explained it from a scientific. Yeah, that's just the most excellent book. If anybody can get their hands on that, I would just really recommend it.
And when we did we were at your place there. I remember Desta got one of the giant reds, and I went, "Oh, there's one of the giant reds. You got one of the giant reds on yours." It's kind of weird where you hear about it, and then suddenly someone's got it on their one of their camera photographs. It was just bizarre.
Yeah, and I think it's intent, like everybody else. You keep an open mind. You make new friends when you keep an open mind, right? And I think really that's what it is. It's like I've said before, you don't build an ocean and put in one fish. We're not the only thing here. You don't build a jungle and put in one animal, right?
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so let's maybe go to photographs. Where do you want to start, Nicole? Because we're gonna show people now, and just a point on Alan's the first one. What people will notice in a lot of these, especially the videos with Alan's video in the crematorium, the particles are all going in different ways, which would mean it's pretty hard to claim that's dust if they're all going in 4 different directions, up, down, left, right. And it's pretty hard to say if it's dust, they should all be going in the same direction.
Right.
So let's go to some photographs now. People are waiting to see.
That's what I was going to do. Hang on. How do I get to my file?
Are you going to start by showing photographs? I've got Janet's photos, and we definitely have to see.
Yeah, go ahead. You can start.
All right, Grant, Nicole, everyone, I got to go, but I'll be looking at this online. Thank you for inviting me. We'll do more of these.
Okay, thanks for coming.
Sure, of
Thank
course.
you.
Okay,
Nice
talk
to
to you
meet
soon.
you.
Thanks, Grant.
Bye, Alan.
Okay, let's see. So let's if we're going, everybody get your photographs ready. This is Janet's photos. You can sort of go through them, Janet.
Okay, so the first screen there is just all the different, back up one, Grant. There we go. That screen is just all the different types of orbs you get. So like everybody else, we started mostly with the one on the lower right. You see a lot of those with the Mandela effect on the inside. And then over different shoots, you see a lot of different stuff. So there's the ones with that look like the bowling ball or the eyes there. The red zippy one, those are always fun. We don't have too many pictures of those, but those are amazing. The one thing Klaus Heinemann says is, of course, if your shutter is 1/60th of a second, your flash is it's either 1/1000th or 1/10,000th of a second. So if you're getting movement, like in the middle picture there, those items or orbs are moving at over 200 miles an hour. So it's not just your hand jiggling. The one on the right, I find really interesting because it looks like the top's coming off. One in the top right corner almost looks like a jellyfish or something. The one in the center, of course, is the beams. You can see some of the circles inside. Lots of people get those. And the one on the far left is like a cluster. So you never know what you're going to come home with after you go out for a shoot. It's always interesting.
Okay. This is the
This
mist.
is,
People were asking about the mist. So this is the mist.
Yeah. So, and I've got another. So this to me tells that there's intent. So when I go out, I do metal work. I'm a metal artist, and I've always wanted to do something in orb. So you'll see the date on these two top ones. I was out walking and I took this beautiful mist and I'm looking at it in the camera and I'm saying to myself or whoever's out there, it's beautiful, but I need more definition to do a sculpture. So I walk down the road, I come back. The top right is the second picture I took with way more definition in it. And that's exactly what I needed. And I said that. So when I came home from that walk, I sat down and started with a pencil and everything just came to me at once, how to do the layers in the sculpture. And I just sketched, I got all this out of my brain in about 20 minutes because you're just buzzed. And then on the right-hand side was the sculpture I ended up making representing the orb. So it's big, it's about 2 big 3-foot panels. So
Wow.
That's from the artistic point of view, so.
That is very inspiring, Dust. I mean, for you to ask it to be more detailed for you, I find that amazing.
She does metal Sasquatches as well. Desta was buying a couple of those.
Oh,
So this is the mist I went back through, and you can see in the top left, there's some red mist there. That's very interesting. It could be the big red giants. The middle top is, you can see, it's faint, but there's a lot of green mist up there. The one on the far right is all different kinds of mist, and it almost, who knows, it could be a portal in the middle, but there's that center dot. The one on the bottom left is just chock full of colors, and I think that might have been one of Desta's pictures, Grant, when it came out. Remember, she got the pictures with the wonderful colors in it?
Yeah, she was getting a lot of colors, yeah.
Yeah, so that's a wonderful example of that. The one in the middle, of course, is just interesting because it's so abrupt from where the mist starts and stops, and it's very granular. And the one on the far right is that same evening. And so you can see how defined the lines are on it. So that's what makes the mist so interesting. There's so many different forms of it.
Yeah,
so.
And yours is much more granular. If you see Daryl Stokes's mist, his is more like a ghosty type mist. Yours, I remember the one person he even countered was that, oh, they took salt, they took sugar and they pasted it onto a piece of glass and filmed through it. And I go, you really believe that? It's like, come on.
Can I just come in on that
Yeah,
last picture there,
Yeah.
the one on the right, the one on the right here, that's 3 beings you've got there standing watching you.
Is it?
That's 3 beings, yes. If you look at them closely, they're black eyes. They've got black eyes, and then 2 of them are looking down towards the ground, and then you've got one that's a bit higher at the back with the dark eyes looking towards the other 2. That's 3 beings.
There you go.
Wow. See, it's all in the eye. So this is a funny story. This was a night, there was a horrendous thunderstorm, and I'm watching it out the sunroom in the front with the window open, and there's this huge crack of thunder, and lightning hit a tree in about 100 meters back on our property. And so, yeah, I was kind of freaking out, and Miles, we were talking about what to do. So when there's the tree burning in the middle. So you see over to the left, you'll see energy coming up, just the big orb. If you go down to the left a bit, Grant, yep, there's an arrow, yep, you'll see right up over here.
Here.
You'll see the energy is going up. And then Miles went over to the right, and he's really good for going in and blowing all these ones up and looking at them very closely. And that's almost looks like a guy in a craft. I mean, you can see what you want to see out of it, but when you blow up that dot, that's what you see. And it was funny, I was watching a Greer advertisement for some of his stuff, and he has one exactly like that. It popped up on the screen as pictures of his beings, and I go, that's our being. Same one.
Wow.
It's on one of Greer's, so that's interesting. So the next slide was, when we've had some group people out. So the top left was when Grant and Desta and Mark came out. We had a lot of fun that evening shooting. The one on the right-hand side was when Rob Freeman and Wendy and Mark McNabb came out. That was that shoot with Grant putting your arms up there.
Yeah.
And also on that shoot on the bottom left, there's Mark with that beautiful bright orb above him. And then you'll notice the time signature on that. It's 21:57. The second picture on the right-hand side is also 21:57. So that's within a minute. He stepped off the road and stepped down there. I took another picture and he's just got all these beautiful orbs around him.
Wow.
So I really love that picture.
Yeah. And he runs the big Winnipeg group now, Mark, and a couple of people help him.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was fun. This is my all-time favorite. It sparkles and it glitters and it's this mist. I took it in February. There was a lot of different mist shots that night, and you know, I don't know what everybody says about the moisture, but I can go out in the winter and get nothing. So it's not my breath because I triple mask and be careful of that. But when I saw this one, it just brought tears to my eyes. It is so beautiful, and this is what Klaus Heinemann calls a veil. And it just looks like beautiful fabric, but all the colors in it. So if you were to zoom in on that, you'll see all these tiny, tiny dots of energy, and they're going all in different directions if you really zoomed it up. But anyways, I think that's just beautiful. And the last one, Grant, I was just kind of teasing you the last slide there, because you said you had a hard time getting orbs on your camera, but they are around you.
Yeah, that's the one between the bottom left is between Des and I. I was floored by that one. When you blow that thing up, it's this giant orb right in between us. And then the one on the top right was kind of funny because it looks like I'm filming the orb.
I like the bottom right. It looks like they're following you.
Yeah, everybody wants to yell in that picture. It's like the horror story. Turn around, Grant. They're right behind you.
Yeah, we had 4 people walking around with cameras all shooting in the same direction, and we went out there for about maybe an hour with 4 different cameras and comparing photos. It was quite inspiring, and hopefully we'll have another, because you host orb parties. You have a big 5-acre place out north of the city, and it's got to do with Aboriginal land. It's some sort of sacred land, so we have a connection there as well.
Yeah. So anyways, I like to bring people out that are open-minded and they enjoy it. And you know what? It's the same as the CE5. You get the people that are like-minded together. Stuff happens, you know? So that's my story.
Beautiful. Let me see if I've got, is this the photograph? Yeah, I just want to show this one before we go. We'll go to somebody else. This is one that was taken in 2013. I just photographed it from the actual photograph from my camera just before we started. This little girl here I think she was 9 years old. She wrote a book on UFOs. She had an experience, and she wrote a book on UFOs, and Paula Harris actually helped her publish the book. So I gave her one of my books, and I don't know where she's gone since. She was only 9 at the time, but you can see this is a CE5 event in Florida, at Sebring, Florida, and Stan Romanek was there, and it was a pretty active place. So this is just one of the orb photographs I've got.